Hi guys, so I wanted to put this video together just to remind people that if you are stuck in a job that, and quite frankly, now the more I coach people, the more people that come to me, and the more I find people that have been, who are just like where I was 5 years ago, 7 years ago, whatever I was. Um, I was working in a corporate job that I had for about 20 odd years. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't like I hated it or anything like that, but it got to a point where I was being, quite frankly, being brutally honest, managed by people who are probably not as qualified as me, and quite frankly, it just got a bit annoying when yeah. I guess I'll leave it as that. So how did I then move from that position to where I am now, where actually I manage there's about 20 odd people in the company, 27 I think the last count, and we do quite well. We get on really well, and it's good fun. I mean, I really jump out of bed to go to work because I actually enjoy what I do. I'm good at it. I surround myself with nice people, good people, effective people, and what that includes my actual 20 odd team in-house, or the social media team, the team the team of lawyers, the team of brokers, the team of floor plan designers, or whoever I end up interacting with, the roofer to the carpet fitter. Now, how did that actually get to this point? Well, actually, from 2000 to 2000, I think 18, I worked in corporate. But in that time, during that time, I kept on investing, and I started serendipitously, with a bit of chance. I bought the first house just while I was at university, and I didn't want to go and spend the money in student halls. Quite frankly, maybe I at that time I forgot maybe I was missing out on the actual university experience of not living in halls. But fast forward 20 odd years later, I think it was the right thing to do. So I bought the first house, and what I did was actually there's underlying messages in here that says, look, you've got to start investing. You've got to take some risks. You've got to start putting money where your mouth is. No point in telling me, you know what, oh, I thought about this, or I thought about buying a property. You know what, I should have done that 20 years ago. Should have is not actually doing things. So if you're watching this thinking, you know what, well, how do I get the transition right? So the first thing to do is, how much money can you save to start putting aside so you can start actually using it towards an investment? One. Two, how much time do you have, and how committed are you to actually building something that's passive? Because quite frankly, the whole system that we go to school, we work for the people, we're capitalist, is actually designed that way. It's designed to produce people like us from schools as worker bees, and then we then go into the work environment, the workforce, and then we get stuck there. Why? Because you take a mortgage, you buy a car, you go on holiday, you have kids, now you've got commitment, so you've got to keep going. And actually this debt that we all inherit or take on is designed, the whole system is designed for you to then go into education, go now into student loan debt, and then those debt is what makes us kind of bury our head down and actually keep on working. So if you want to get out of that rat race and that kind of that vicious cycle of work, spend more money that you actually earn, borrow money on credit card, pay debt down, and keep on going each month, and you wake up and you keep doing the same thing over and over again, it's really almost impossible to get out. The only way that I found, and I read around and I spend quite a lot of time with people now doing similar things, is to carve out some money out. So, and I know it's hard, I know it's not exactly easy times at the moment with cost of living crisis and all that stuff. That's everything's expensive, nothing works in this country as well. So if you are watching this, how do I start as it? So I would start saying about looking at how much money can you save per month. Do you have a savings account? Do you have a pension fund that you can actually tap into? There's a SAS scheme where you can actually draw out part of your pension that you've accumulated, over the last 10, 15, 20 years. You can draw that out and then take control of that money and invest half of that money, up to half of that money, into properties. One. Two, if you have been saving a few £1,000s, let's say each month, each year, or whatever, let's say you've got a bit of capital pot. If you don't, you need to start getting going. Whether you're 18 or 40, you've got to have some form of income and some form of savings. And those are the savings that I used to actually buy my first property. And I use that, and I collateralized. I use debt to help me towards the deposit. And I bought the first house. Then I realized actually, it's only making me £200 or £300 a month. I thought, at some point, one day,